Good morning, meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with a Tropical Storm Emily update Wednesday morning, August 3rd, 2011. Well, we have Tropical Storm Emily still trying to hold itself together. I'll show you here in a moment. Still a rather weak system. Maximum sustained winds 50 miles an hour. Movement to the west at 14 miles an hour. It's located now just to the southeast of the Dominican Republic here. Official forecast tracked by the National Hurricane Center hasn't changed much since last night. We saw that little bit of shift to the west last night, and they've kind of held it there now. As again, we still have some of the models in two different camps, and I'll show you that in a moment here. And basically, the National Hurricane Center is taking that pretty much that middle of the road stance right now on the track forecast here. So you can see still, we're still in the cone here along the Florida coast and the southeast coast here. So we don't want to let our guard down yet, and it's still very uncertain as to, first of all, what kind of system are we going to have once it gets off the Dominican Republic here and Hispaniola, and then how much it does strengthen here across the Bahamas. There's a very good chance that it could strengthen up close to a hurricane in this area as conditions will become more favorable. So for our friends across the Bahamas here, you can see we have tropical storm warnings already for the southeastern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and now a tropical storm watch up close towards the central Bahamas now as well. And really the most concern right now is for flooding across Hispaniola, and then the possibility of us seeing a stronger system here across the Bahamas. So those are our two keys, and then from there, what kind of effects this weekend will it have along the Florida coast and southeast coast? Still unsure about that right now. As far as me personally, I'm still on the fence there as well. I've said all along I have a feeling this is going to come closer to the Florida and southeast coast than was forecasted earlier. I think some of these models, especially the GFS and the Euro, are still underestimating this subtropical high pressure here, and they are way out to the right here on their forecast track, and I think we're going to be coming in a little closer here. So with that said, let's kind of go through the maps, and I'll keep giving you a little more of my opinions as we go along here. Satellite views, I'll show you a few here. First we'll show the widened shot here, first visible loop of the morning here. Still a kind of sickly looking system. As I say that, it's not really having that nice look to it, that it's breathing well. You don't see a lot of good outflow. Westerly shear hitting it, still some dry air hitting it. If you look closely, and I'm going to close in on here, I believe the apparent center is starting to shoot out from this convection right in here, because it's been located on the western edge of this convection all night. This could be it right here. I'm going to close in on it. That could be it starting to make its move more towards the west-northwest here. So let me show you that in a minute here. We'll just put a little color on here again. Not a really good looking system. When they look just like a blob like this, you know it's not really strengthening much. No good outflow at all. Still, decent outflow trying to establish to the south, but this system all along has not had any great outflow to the west, northwest, or north with it. Okay, let's close in here, and if you want to look closely here, this looks like this is the center of circulation right in here. You can see this little swirl here trying to pop out of the convection. If that's the case, it looks like we might start to begin that west-northwest track here. Could the center relocate and tuck itself back to the east and southeast a little bit under the heavier convection here? It's possible. This thing, when they're weak like this, they kind of tend to relocate here and there, so it's very possible. But that looks like that's the center this morning, right in there. And again, a very still a disorganized and fairly weak system. Just looking at Puerto Rico real quick, a lot of rainfall, especially across the southeast and eastern end of the island here. Some flash flood watches and warnings here across the southeast coast. These squalls do contain very heavy rainfall, still flooding today. Possibility of some water spouts coming up into Puerto Rico here, especially across the southeastern coast. And again, wind gusts could get close to tropical storm force. Really haven't seen much in that, but they could get close to that in some of these rain bands. Conditions will get better later today and into tonight as Emily continues off to the west. Water vapor loop, again, showing you this trough here, digging itself in the western Atlantic, high pressure nosing itself in here. So the battle is on right now. Eventually, in the next 2 to 3 days, this trough's going to win out a bit and start to suck it up towards the northwest and north. Then we might have a little ridge build back in just for a day, and then we'll watch our second trough come and finally kick this guy out to sea. So those again are the players here with our system. And again, the official tropical forecast points are right like this. And again, a lot of error in here. So again, across the southeast and Florida, be aware. Shear, again, we're showing that, remember that higher shear there that was to its north. It kind of impinged on our system a little bit the last day, kind of giving about 10 to 15 knots of westerly shear. That shear is now finally starting to lift off to the east. Once the system emerges past Hispaniola here, conditions will become more favorable near the Bahamas for strengthening. So if this system survives, which right now I'm pretty confident it's going to survive this crossing here, we could see a strengthening system near the Bahamas here. And that would be, again, into that Friday time frame. So Friday across the Bahamas will be the time. So if you're living there, start to take some action here and be aware of the situation. All right, back to the maps here. And again, steering currents. And you can see, still have our Azores high, impinging in on this system. The second trough we're going to see, here's the other kicker here, this other short wave that's going to come down and continue to try to dig this trough out and take Emily out to sea. But again, that's been the battle here with this system. And that's where the models are really trying to figure this out here, where, how strong this high is going to be. And we'll see what happens there. Okay, model fun time. Everybody loves watching these, and we'll just go through these here. Okay, first off, official forecast track by the National Hurricane Center is following this line, basically right in here. We have the BAM suite here, and these are the recent BAM runs, the 12Zs, way out here to the left. Canadian model's been out to the left. UK Met model's been out to the left. So these models have been consistently out to the left here, all out in here. We've had the HWRF, which I'll show you in a closer view here. This dotted line right here has been consistently now for about a day right along the coast. We've had the GFDL kind of lying basically where the National Hurricane Center now has its forecast track, although I noticed 6Z now has come just a little closer to the coast because the official track is more in line with the right in this area here. And you can see National Hurricane Center official track is right here. This solid line with the dots right in here. So now the GFDL is just a little to the left now of the official National Hurricane Center track. No gaps model pretty much in line with the official track. Then out here, these are all the GFS ensemble models. You can see they've been way out to the right. And I'm also going to show you where the Euro model is way out to the right. So we have the GFS and the Euro model out here, and a lot of the other models out this way. So, and it all has to do with the strength of this ridge here. I've noticed over the summer the GFS and also the Euro really overplaying. They've never overplaying these troughs coming down and trying to weaken this ridge a little quicker. That's why I still believe we're going to come a little left here. So I would be right now, personally, I'd be to the left of the National Hurricane Center track, more something like this. So again, that puts Florida and the southeast coast still in play there, and we definitely have to be aware of that. Intensity models, again, everybody's showing that this system has a chance to become a hurricane once it gets past Hispaniola. So that's out there as well, given the fact that it's going to be over the warm Gulf Stream waters, and also with shear decreasing, a good chance of this system starting to ramp up once it gets near the Bahamas. GFS model, as I was just showing you there, we have it graphically here. This is the 6Z model, and again, having that track and then out to sea here. Looks like 6Z has come back a little west. I've noticed that the 0Zs and the 12Zs have been farther right, and then the 6Zs and the 18Zs have been coming a little farther west. But overall, GFS continues to keep this system off the coast here. And again, the Euro model, just to show you, pretty much in line with the GFS with that out to sea look there. HWRF, again, paralleling the coast. Very interesting run. Pretty close to a hurricane as it gets east of Florida there. And you can see this has been a consistent run with the HWRF. And I tend to put more weight in the HWRF than the GFDL. The GFDL has been very underperforming even last year. I do put a little more weight in the HWRF a lot of times than the GFDL. And if you want to look at the GFDL here, almost a similar track. Definitely gets Emily a little stronger. Keeps it a little farther off the coast. But again, not by much. So you see what we have here. It's definitely going to be a system. We can't pull the all clear yet for the United States. Not by a long shot. I still think we're going to could be to the left here. So it's going to be a pretty close call here, and I'm still can't put the all clear out for Florida or the southeast coast. More likely, it's going to take a real good sharp bend here. So as it gets into the westerly, so North Carolina, highly doubt you guys. I'd feel more safe saying you guys aren't going to get hit, but as far as Florida and then coming up close to South Carolina, in this area, it's very possible. And of course, the Bahamas. Definitely be on the lookout here come Friday for a possible strengthening tropical system over your area. Well, that's it for my update today. Probably won't have another update this evening. Maybe throw out a few things on Facebook. But again, we'll have another full update video tomorrow morning. Again, you can follow me on Facebook. It's Robert, ACANFRIO. Have a good day.